Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys, and this is another ReZero Season 2 episode review. Another good episode. Um Man, it seems like things are gonna be heating up next episode. We got that Beatrice moment here. We got that Otto moment. Um we got the revelations about how Frederica and Garfield are related, and also maybe the fact is I don't think we can trust Garfield anymore. Um, now, that's just me. I'll have my own opinions and my own thoughts, but I'm just guessing. Anyways, you know, let's get back to ReZero. So the last week's episode, like we all know, it ended off with everybody dying, with the exception of Subaru, and then Subaru finds himself in Beatrice's room, or in the library with Beatrice. So obviously, as we picked up, Subaru, he is livid. He's like, "Why'd you save me? Why'd you save me? Just let me out so I can die," and stuff like that. And he's trying to do this because he's trying to get to Rem's room, but Beatrice says, "Look, at this point, it's too late because the room disappeared and stuff like that." Now, Beatrice, she says, "Look, I don't have a single reason to help anybody out," because Subaru asks her, like, "Why can't you save everybody?" And Beatrice, since she's only relegated to the library room, she can't do nothing much of anything to help people, help the others out. So, yeah. Now, Subaru, he tries to essentially kill himself, but Beatrice, prevents him from doing that. And he actually sees that Beatrice still is the Book of Sloth, and she's holding it like and embracing it and stuff like that. And Subaru questions her like, why are you looking to the book? Why do you have the book and stuff like that? But Beatrice goes on to say like she hasn't been given the command to tell him. Now Subaru, now if you guys remember, Roswell had left Subaru with something. If you ever see Beatrice, make sure you tell her, these coded words, and then she'll talk. Um, Subaru, I'm guessing, forgot about that. Obviously, he's not in the right mind to think and stay calm because he's obviously livid and pissed right now. Um, so maybe if he were to say those, words that Roswell told him to say to Beatrice, Beatrice might actually start talking some more and be like, okay, this is what's going on and stuff like that. So still leave that plot point open and stuff like that. Um, she also goes on to say that she can only do things with reference to the gospel. As we all know, she's contracted to the library and she can't really do anything of much else because that's what the job she's been given. It goes on to say that the gospel is the meaning of her life and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty sad that she doesn't have those connections with the other people in the mansion because she's only relegated to that room. Like there are people in the mansion that know of her, but they don't talk to her. Like Subaru, we saw would talk to her and connected with her, and stuff like that. And you can see, she got very emotional and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, Elsa comes in. She comes through the door. I don't know how, but she managed to get into the library, and she essentially kills Subaru, and as you can see, as Subaru's dying, he can see Beatrice obviously looking, sad and worried because she's seen Subaru die, like essentially right in front of her and stuff like that. So, yeah, so that's what we get out of Beatrice this episode. Like I said, there's still something, like I said, she's not telling Subaru. Obviously, I think Subaru has to say the coded message that Roswell told him, I think a few episodes ago to tell Beatrice and stuff like that, and then she'll, tell you everything she knows about whatever you need to know. Now, again, the restart point again is still back in the sanctuary where he's next to Amelia while she's taking out the trial. After he completed his trial, the same thing happens. He kind of wakes Amelia up and snaps out of it and stuff like that. And yeah, so he kind of relives everything that's been happening. You kind of get the same exact certain scene in the little dining hall area, as you can see. But you know, there's a point when Otto and Subaru are talking, and Otto thinks, Subaru's being a little bit too calm. He's like, "You're being awfully calm for the state Amelia's in right now. Like, don't you think you'd be a little bit worried or a little bit concerned about the situation? About the situation going on here?" And Subaru's like, "Look, don't worry about it. We're all cool. It's fine," and stuff like that. Now, Garfield, he shows up and he wants to have a talk with Subaru and stuff like that. And he's like, "Yo, can we talk or something like that?" And Subaru, he wants to go talk to Roswell to go figure some things out. But then Garfield, like I said, comes up and in a way to get Otto to get away, to go away, he kind of is like, "Well, let's talk more about, we're just gonna talk about, lovers or something like that and stuff like that, because Garfield likes Ram, although I have a feeling that he's gonna fight Ram next episode, and stuff like that. But yeah, now Garfield and Subaru kind of have a little talk about Frederica, and he's like, "I stopped talking about Frederica," essentially. Now we go to this, I guess, open area surrounded by trees and the sanctuary area, and Blima is actually there. Now Blima actually goes on to say that there's another, because Subaru asked her like, "I want like my questions asked," and she's like, "Oh, you mean about Frederica?" Then yeah, because Subaru wants to find out, is there another way to leave the barrier, and stuff like that, because we know that Frederica, she's like Garfield, a half blood. So, anyways, Blima goes on to say that there is another way to leave the sanctuary, but and it was because Frederica was the one who did it. She also goes on to ask Subaru why he wants to do that. Now Subaru says, "Well, one, I want to make sure everyone gets out of here safe, and two, I don't want Amelia to, have the burden of taking the trial, because you obviously see that, she's struggling to take the trial because it has something to do with her past and facing it." And Subaru knows, like, look, I know she's gonna have to face her past, but it looks like she's not ready to do that yet, and she's not comfortable yet to do that. Okay, sorry for that interruption, guys, but yeah, and stuff like that. Now, Blima, she continues the conversation by saying there is no path to escape from the barrier, regardless what there is. There's no path to escape. But Frederica was an exception to that case. And the reason why is because she didn't meet the conditions that are held within the barrier. Now, this is when we get the real reason, or the full description reason, why people can't leave the barrier. Mostly mixed blood people. Now, she goes on to say that the barrier determines one's mixed blood status by the amount of each race in their blood. If they possess human and non-human blood in equal amounts, they will be held in the barrier. But if you're less than half blood, it cannot hold them. Which, Subaru goes on to say, "Oh, that means like if they're quarter blood, essentially." And that's when we get the revelation here that Garfield and Frederica, yes, they are related and they are brother and sister, but they have different fathers. And we see this from the last names. Now, Garfield's full name is Garfield Tinzel, while we already knew that Frederica's last name is Frederica Ballman. Now, Frederica was born with a human mother, but a half-blood father. And Blima goes on to say, well, yeah, for Frederica, she can come to the barrier and leave, the barrier anytime she wants, and there's no penalty for it. But Garfield's like, that's funny why you would say that, because she hasn't been back here within 10 years. Which is very interesting. So you question, where's Frederica been all this time if she hasn't been in Sanctuary for 10 years? And stuff like that. Now, this is when we get the crazy part. Okay. So, so you know how last week when Subaru said that he'd like to take the trial in Amelia's place, in front of everybody, Garfield had a problem with it last week. Subaru again says it this week in front of Garfield and Blima this time. And it's only those two, and he's like, look, do not tell anybody this. But I want to take the trial in Amelia's place. And Garfield and Blima, she starts being like, okay then, could you be quiet and not say anything for a second then? And then that's when you see Garfield start choking Subaru. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Again, again, again. Why do you... Okay. I don't know why Subaru would say this all over again when Garfield clearly had a problem with it. You know, last time he brought this up before he died the second time. But here we go again. He says it right in front of Garfield's face, and Garfield takes offense to it. I think it's a done deal that you shouldn't say you're going to take the trial in front of Garfield's face for Amelia. Thank you very much. Please and thank you. Now, obviously, they start choking him out, and next thing you know, you're just like, oh, are they gonna kill him right then and there? It would make sense and stuff like that. But now, we later find out that Subaru is in an undisclosed location, in some kind of prison cell in the sanctuary where nobody can find him and stuff like that. Now my prediction and my theory is, I wonder, is Blima and Garfield maybe a few of the people in the sanctuary that might be against people unlocking and releasing the barrier from the sanctuary? It would make sense. I'm guessing from what I'm seeing here, it makes sense. That's my prediction. It might not be, true. It might not come true. But but my theory and my prediction is Blima and Garfield. They're two of the people that don't want the barrier to be released, because we know that there's a little group out there in the sanctuary, that does not like the barrier to be, unlocked. And Ram a few episodes ago did say, look, do not trust nobody, even do not trust me or Amelia because of it and stuff like that. So that it is interesting. I gotta believe that Garfield and Blima, they do not want the barrier to be released. It only makes sense, because especially Garfield, he's taken offense to it, even though he's kind of been on the sidelines. But then again, at the same time, you can say no, they probably just want Amelia to do it because she's the princess and she's running in the royal election and stuff like that. And they don't want Subaru, who's just a human, to take the trial. So it could be either or that. Now, Garfield, he goes on to say, after like pressing Subaru to the wall, it's like, look, there's a lot of misma oozing out of your body, and that's mostly because Subaru's died the past 2 times and stuff like that. He said he smelt the strong scent of it the moment he left the graveyard and stuff like that. Now he thinks he's in the witch's cult, which we do not know. Which we do know that Subaru's not in the witch's cult, and stuff like that. So yeah, now Subaru, he actually tries to kill himself, obviously to reset and probably try to fix the mistakes and not put himself in the same situation he is again. But Garfield ain't letting it happen. He ties his mouth, so by putting rope in his mouth so he can't do that and stuff like that. And yeah, he's like, look, you stay here and you just stay quiet. So he leaves and things like that. We see, I'm guessing, Blima come by and feed him some water, or feed him something like, I guess, some soup or something like that. Now, I don't know why he didn't try to kill himself if he was so, worried about killing himself. But maybe at that time he lost the will to fight back and stuff like that. In the meantime, we see Ram, Amelia, and the other villagers looking for Subaru. We even see Ram trying to use her, her power where she can try to pick up somebody and stuff like that, but that's not even working. So they're obviously all worried about him. Now Garfield actually runs into Otto and stuff like that, because Garfield gives a little subtle hint, like, if you get lost in the Forgotten Forest, that could be end for you. But then Otto's like, alone? But then that's when Garfield kind of walks him over to the side, presses him, and he's like, look, stay quiet, and I'll give you this. And he gives him like some diamond crystal thing. So after some time, and he says, look, I won't hurt you or kill you if, you just stay quiet and stuff like that. Now, Otto, Yeah, it looks like at first Otto actually is gonna give in, and I'm like, really, man, really. After everything you and Subaru been through, now you're gonna go behind his back now? Okay. So we just pan over to Subaru, and it's just, they're just panning over his body in the cell and stuff like that. And we don't know how many days have passed and stuff like that. Next thing you know, we see somebody come in and, free him up. And guess who we see? My guy, Otto. He comes to save Subaru, and he tells Subaru, look, man, it's been 3 days, and then Amelia's going to try the trial again, and stuff like that. Now, he goes on to say, like, look, the villagers, Amelia, and the others were looking for you, but they couldn't find you. And because of it, Amelia couldn't keep her composure because of it. And even one time, she declined to take the trial because you were gone. Now, the Margrave, was telling Amelia that, or gave Amelia an oath, and she eventually takes on the trials, but she still fails the trials. Like, I think she said she took the trials 2 more times, but she still ended up failing. Um, Now Subaru asks the question like, okay, so how were you able to get here and stuff like that? And he's like, well, I kind of just found some underhanded news on how to get here, and finding out like all this information and stuff like that. That's when Otto tells Subaru like, look, I've kind of just been on the run from Garfield, because you even see him, he's like all dirtied up and he's got scratches around him on his face and stuff like that. And he's like, look, Garfield, he gave me some like diamond looking thing if I were to keep quiet, and he said he wouldn't hurt me, but I turned him down on that. I'm guessing, after he turned him down on that, I'm guessing Garfield just immediately started going after him. Now, how Otto escaped from Garfield, I have no clue. I have no clue how he did that, but he got away from Garfield, and he's been on the run from Garfield and stuff like that. And then this is when we get this really emotional moment where, Subaru asks him, like, yo, why did you even come back here? And that's when Otto tells him, like, look, dude, after everything we've been through, man, I just see you as a friend. And Subaru kind of laughs and stuff like that, and he is laughing off and things like that. But I think this is, Subaru realizing, like, for the first time, there's somebody who actually appreciates him. Even though Amelia does appreciate him, as well as Rem as well appreciated him and stuff like that. But I think, Otto's the first, dude who Subaru saw like, well, this dude risks essentially his life just to come and save me. And, that's honestly what a good friend would do. Is if somebody's in danger and they need help, you'd go help them because they're your friend. And Subaru kind of laughs it off, and Otto thinks it's a joke, but Subaru's like, look, it's okay, man. Thanks for saving me and stuff like that. So Otto and Subaru, I guess they're good best buddies now, and stuff like that. Now, as they leave, because we get the ending, they cut back as the post credits for the post credit scene. And thanks to hearing, Otto hears that Garfield is at the graveyard, but Otto's going like, yeah, we have some help, we have some backup, but and Otto and Subaru going through these bushes actually meet up with Ram. So Ram is there, and I'm guaranteeing you that Subaru is going to tell Ram everything that's been going on, that Garfield held him prisoner, and it seems like the only best way to get out of this situation is that Amelia and hears what Garfield has been doing, and now it seems like they're probably going to be going up against Garfield, because we cut back to the prison, or wherever Subaru was held, and Garfield sees that Subaru is gone from his cell, and then he gets really freaking pissed off. He transforms. You only see his hand. Now his hand looks like a wolf. It looks like a wolf hand, so who knows what he could be, what transform animal we could be. If Frederica transform into, a fox-looking animal, he looks like he could potentially be a wolf character, a wolf animal. Like I said, it's looking like it's gonna be matching up against. It's gonna be matching up. Garfield's gonna attack them, and Ram might actually have to fight Garfield. We don't know if Amelia will join in on the fight as well. Puck's still not there, so but who knows? But again, Amelia said she's got some backup spirits that can help her. Um, and like I said, when the dirt's out on Garfield of what he did, man, he's gonna be in some deep trouble. So, so far, I'm guessing beat Garfield, complete the trial, and get back to the mansion. Even though, again, the mansion is still on this time limit. Now, again, we know there is a 5-day time period for Elsa to just appear at the mansion, regardless if Subaru shows up or not. So Subaru's only got 2 more days because it's been 3 days. So they're gonna have to take care of these. They're gonna have to take care of the trials in like legit the next 2 days and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where ReZero goes. I'm guessing we're gonna get a Garfield fight, next week and stuff like that. So yeah, but other than that, that's all I gotta say about this ReZero episode. This ReZero episode was good. Next week seems to be even more better than this with what's gonna be going on with Garfield. So anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on the video. Any plot points that I missed out, put that in the comment section. Again, do not post spoilers for the light novel, and stuff like that because I don't want to understand what's going on next. I want to be shocked and surprised for the first time, as well as hit the subscribe button to get more ReZero content. So till then, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch you guys on the next video for ReZero. Until then, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys, and well, if you guys are from California, hopefully you guys are staying cool and, in your houses, as well as hopefully everybody else, in the world is staying safe. So till then, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Peace.